Hi everybody, thanks for watching. I'm Jessica.
I'm Peter.
And today we wanted to talk to you about one of the native wild animals in this area, the javelina. A javelina is an animal that kind of looks like a wild boar. It has this short but thick bristly coat, has short legs and kind of a pig-like mouth, but it's not a pig. It's actually a peccary. Another name for it is the collared peccary because it has this sort of salt and pepper colored coat, and it has a lighter band going around its neck and shoulders, so it makes it kind of look like a collar. The name javelina comes from the word javelin, which, it's like a throwing spear, and javelinas have these very long, sharp canine teeth that protrude out of their mouth, kind of like a sharp javelin, I guess. These guys are about 2 feet tall, 3 to 4 feet long, and they can weigh between 35 and 60 pounds.
Javelina are native to the southwest U.S. They also live in Mexico and Central and South America. Their habitat that they like to live in is mostly like the desert scrub and desert washes, but they also will live in the oak woodland forest and desert grasslands. They live in large families from like 5 up to like 50 members. So they can get pretty big, but generally it's like 5 to 10 family members in a group. Javelina also mate year-round, and therefore they have babies with them year-round in the herd. Each group defends their territory, and their territory includes their sleeping area where they bed down, and then also their feeding areas where they forage for food. In the wild, they live just up to 10 years.
Javelina are herbivores, so they eat a lot of the plants that grow out here. They'll eat roots and tubers that they dig up. They'll eat grasses, shrubs, cacti, sometimes mesquite beans. They'll even eat small animals like lizards or rodents if they get a chance. In the heat of the day, they'll rest under outcroppings of rocks or under the shade of a tree. Mesquite trees provide a nice shady area for them to rest. Javelinas actually have poor eyesight, but they do have a very good sense of smell, and they use their sense of smell to communicate with each other. They also use sounds to communicate, but they have this scent gland on their rump that they use to mark territory, and they'll rub their rump up against rocks or tree stumps. Javelina's predators will include mountain lions, bobcats, sometimes jaguars, also coyotes, and humans that hunt them. They're very alert to predators, and when they smell danger, they'll freeze, and then they'll let off their scent, and they might clack their teeth as a warning. And then of course they'll try to get out of there and escape.
So far, our interaction with the javelinas has been they dug up our mulch basins a little bit to get at the plants and stuff in there. So obviously, once we get our garden established, we'll need some sort of protection because they can be pretty destructive. Since javelina like to scent mark everything, sometimes they'll climb under your trailer and they'll kind of rub themselves against the underside of the trailer. So that can also cause some damage. We haven't had any problem with that yet, but that's just something to be aware of. Since javelinas have issues with coyotes, since coyotes prey on them, They don't really like dogs too much either, so you gotta watch out when you're walking your dog. If your dog does take off after them, they might turn around and charge back and defend themselves, especially if they have young with them. So you always want to keep an eye on your dog. Keep your dog on a leash if you're anywhere near or around javelina country. And then if you don't want the javelinas around, don't feed them, or, you know, obviously they'll come back if you're feeding them, or even if you're feeding other wildlife like deer, or, you know, whatever else.
And that's something we saw when we were staying at that campground, because I mean, there are people like coming in from different parts of the country. They probably didn't know, like, oh, look at these animals.
Yeah.
Then they would feed them, and they'd feed the deer, and then they just kept coming back.
But a lot of people there have dogs, and, you know,
Yeah.
you don't, with animals that can be potentially aggressive, you know, and harmful, especially towards your dog or you or your children, or, you know.
Gotta be careful.
It's a big issue with feeding.
That's some things that we wanted to share with you about javelina. They're one of the common animals around here, an animal that we have to be prepared to deal with. Some way they're interesting animals, but it's good to know what they are and how they behave. So thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. We like sharing this information with you guys about our native plants and animals. We hope to give you more of that in the future. Please share and subscribe. Also check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So thanks for watching. See you next time.